In this video, I'm going to talk with you about writing conferences and assessments. Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Rebecca with Cherished Children Ministries. Here at Cherished Children Ministries, we equip teachers and parents how to teach writing with a holistic approach, embracing children's unique gifts and talents and igniting a passion for writing and literature. One of the very first things I do as I observe every student is to make an outline of what the student does before, during, and after writing workshop. This is critical. Before we write, I might notice a student makes several trips back and forth to the writing center. He gets paper, a pencil, he sits, he gets up, he gets a crown. During writing, I observe the same student. He's very quiet and involved with his own writing. He looks up when other children talk. He listens, but quickly gets back to his own work. I observe the same student after writing workshop. He draws pictures, he rereads, he adds to pictures, and rereads. This time, he points to the words on the page. I'm attaching a link of a class grid at the bottom of this video. You can also access it at my website at www.cherishedchildrenministries.org. This quick, informal observation list is very important. It helps me watch each student completely. In the previous example, if I had only observed the student's before writing behaviors, I may have assumed too quickly he was not focused. However, I observed during and after writing behaviors as well, which allow me to assess the child from the holistic approach. Most of my assessments actually take place during my conference time. I'm going to show you some different ways I do this. I use a class grid. You can access the class grid at the bottom of this video. Just click the link. So I use the class grid to just jot down some notes about the students that I have conferred with. This is just a quick system that allows me to touch base with every child and record his or her progress. I keep notes to list major growths or areas of need. And I can see who I have conferenced with lately, as well as common issues that I might need to focus on in a whole group lesson. I make these very easily with a manila folder and post-it notes, or maybe a simple grid like the one attached below. But it does need to be useful for you to assess where your students are now and where you want them to be in a month from now. I also use address labels and timelines. I simply use computer labels to jot down longer anecdotal records about my students' individual writing progress. Then I peel the label for each child and place them on his or her page in my own notebook or binder, which allows me to see the improvements over time. I can also share this with parents and students. I use a timeline as well. Now, this is used mostly just to benefit my own teaching. I will choose a few students every year at varying developmental levels and collect notes about their progress throughout the year in the writing process. I can then go back through after the year to see what worked well and what do I need to work on as the teacher. A few more ways that I assess. I use transcripts and checklists. Sometimes I will record my writing conferences with students and transcribe them to analyze a student's work. Usually, I use them to help me know what to focus on in my mini lesson. I also use writing checklists. I use checklists for self-assessments or peer-to-peer assessments. Several times during the year, students look through their writing journal and self-evaluate some areas they think they need some work. Each student will choose one and write it on a Post-it note and attach it to a large class poster. These will then become each student's goals toward improving. I also use rubrics and scoring guides. Together, as a class, we create a scoring guide that consists of the components of writing, and we create 3 columns to show the stages of development. Now, this will vary each year. For example, we might use so-so, keep going, and celebrate you did it for one group, and something else for another group. Just do it together. In the beginning, we use a scoring guide for whole group work. Gradually, students learn how to use the guide for their own personal writing. It's great for publishing. Now remember, these scoring guides are different than my teacher-made scoring guides of the traits that I have taught and will be assessing on each piece after this trait is mastered. Another valuable way that I like to assess, and my personal favorite, are portfolios. Every student has an accordion folder to use for sorting his or her writing samples. Now, 3 or 4 times a year, students sort through their folders and writer's notebooks to choose a piece of writing that shows good work. Once they choose a piece, they attach a sticky note stating reasons they choose it. By having the children explain their choices in writing, I can then hold them accountable and encourage them to think when they evaluate their own writing. We can also share these with parents and progress throughout the year, which is another very valuable tool. Most of all, have fun. Even assessment should be fun. Remember, children learn in various ways. Not all children are the same. They're not even the same stages of writing, even if they have had the same teaching or they're in the same grade level, or maybe they've had you as a mom teaching them year after year. Remember, the techniques and strategies shared with you today are not the only way to assess. You can learn more about the ways to assess and how to effectively implement writing workshop into your classroom by visiting my website today and registering for my writing workshop masterclass. I hope you found this video on assessment valuable to you. If you have, please hit the like button and subscribe for more valuable videos on implementing writing workshop and the strategies today.